this Peter Nelson, who seems like a really wonderful guy, like a guy I just hang out with, have a couple of suds with, but is the biggest douchebag I've ever. That is the one thing.
I think the reason people are upset is because they were singing this song about poverty all along. Like they were, you know,
they were the common girl.
Right. It'd be like it would be like if I was actually friends with Sam Kennedy.
Yes. Right.
You know,
it'd be like if Blind Mike was actually making a lot of money.
Yeah. Right.
Right. 40,000 or something. Yeah.
Right. I could see.
It's funny. I listened to Dave's podcast this morning. He did an excellent job. And then I listened to Erica's, and Erica was talking about her and Dave. We went through painstaking, conversations, months worth of conversations, weeks worth about what to do, whether to fire them or not. And it was great. I thought about the Francesca thing with Mike, and Dave called Erica, and Erica's like, just fire him.
I hadn't thought about that.
From the most important.
That's true.
I don't think they finished a sentence. I think she just said, like when the aunt answered the phone. This was like weeks and.
And when she was on this podcast, wouldn't even address it. Wouldn't even acknowledge.
So disgusted by it.
Shut the fuck up, you blind fat fuck.
Alive and kicking.
Yes, very much so.
We're not done yet. When you're listening today, if he's dead, then I'll take a win. But I mean, it's the 22nd, right? So I have a week.
Yeah, I think we settled on the 22nd. But the original
originally you said the 18th.
I may have.
But I mean, I think what you said on CCK holds true. He turned his life around after you forecast his demise.
It's the wind beneath his wings.
It's one of two, either that or he died professionally anyway, just bowing to these women, throwing everything to them. Jesus Christ! If I had known, I would have negotiated even harder. Gee, if I knew it was just a fucking walkover. But so yeah, it's funny. We were on last night. I'm like, geez, I don't know. Maybe there's no podcast
it was
at all.
A joke or something. Yeah.
There was a podcast, and I know most of the listeners of this show don't listen to Call Her Daddy, just like I'm sure every single listener of Call Her Daddy has never heard our show. So what interests me about this has nothing to do with them.
Oh no, it's fascinating. Just if you like radio or podcasts or anything,
or business or anything. Yeah.
So if you like seeing people utterly destroy their careers for selfish reasons,
and I don't want to. They're getting piled on, and I really it's for me not about that. Like I don't. They're
one of them is.
Yes, yeah, she's getting really beat up, and I think she's made a stupid decision. But 3 years from now, she may prove everyone wrong. I think 3 years from now, she'll be worse off professionally than she is right now, but maybe she'll be making more money. So Dave went through the whole thing with Call Her Daddy, which I would say is done now at Barstool Sports in its current form anyway.
Seems like it.
So
it's a tough one to recover from.
Sophia's the one who is leaving.
Sophia is the brunette.
I don't know. The HBO boyfriend.
She's the one with the douche boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I mean, Dave goes through the whole thing. It's insane. I mean, I don't, and I also, I trust Dave and Erica completely professionally. They've been great to me, above board all the time. They really have. So I believe them both. I mean, they went through everything. I have no reason not to believe them, but I'm always nervous to pile on somebody who's taking a risk or a chance professionally and be like, oh, fuck you, you're a fucking idiot. Like, I don't really want to do that. But there's a lot of levels to it. So, they said they were making, the thing that would piss me off the most, like I said today, is if I ever found out one of you two was leaking a story to a fucking newspaper without my knowledge of it, he'd be fucking so gone.
It was me. It was all false information.
That's true. I mean, I would never speak, like it'd be the biggest war of my life. And for them to be leaking stuff to the New York Post with this idiot from HBO doing it, while this idiot from HBO knew they were under contract with Barstool, and he's dating one of them. This Peter Nelson, who seems like a really wonderful guy, like a guy I just hang out with, have a couple of suds with, but is the biggest douchebag I've ever. That is the one thing. I'm honestly not taking. Like I'm like Erica, I like Dave, so I'm going to take their side. Like I don't really care. I don't care if those girls get $10 million. That's the other thing. I know I'm all over the place, but I would hope nobody at Barstool was upset they were making that much money.
Well, that's what the suggestion was. I think Erica addressed that when she said, basically, if you go make a #1 podcast, then you too can make $500,000.
Right. I
think the reason people are upset is because they were singing this song about poverty all along. Like they were,
they were the common girl.
Right. It'd be like it would be like if I was actually friends with Sam Kennedy.
Yes. Right.
Or like if Blind Mike was actually making a lot of money.
Yeah. Right.
40,000 or something. Yeah.
Right. I could see.
But if, I think they were each making about $500,000, give or take.
Yes.
I mean, that's, to me, they deserve it.
Yeah. Of course they do. If they didn't deserve it, they wouldn't be getting paid that much.
and I mean, the offers that Dave went through, I don't know. Is there anything specific sound you want to pull out first?
The only interesting stuff is just him talking about Peter Nelson. But I mean,
yeah. So I mean, if you lay it out, so Dave took over the Call Her Daddy feed last night and did it. And what did he say? Daddy Speaks or something?
Yes.
Was the name of it? So he goes through.
It's just a huge power.
He goes
move.
through again from his end, from his side, everything that they did and didn't do, and these girls, which I don't have a problem with. I have no problem with at all. In the middle of their contract, said, hey, or the beginning of it, said, hey, we're being way underpaid here, and I think Dave gave them each a raise at first.
So one of them came to Dave and asked for a raise and got a raise without the others' knowledge.
So one of them does a lot of the. So I didn't understand, and the like a sewing circle, the ladies are talking today. I like it. It was like the old DEI days. I've got my Barstool guys who
kibitzing.
A little gossip right here.
Little gossiping right now. I will not give away my sources. Some expected, some unexpected.
Right.
That's a very produced show.
Yeah, I think that's
very.
I thought I
very-
told you
They
that.
talked about a lot today.
Like they'll record 2 hours and then chop up a bunch of stuff.
I've heard like written.
yeah, and
A
I
lot,
guess
of, a,
that
lot
was
of, a lot of scripted.
that's what caused
shit,
some tension
that-
between them and Barstool because people look down at that. Like, what
Right.
the fuck are you doing?
If they're that successful, maybe
Well,
we should start scripting ours.
I mean, I would just say that like if for it to be a success, you need to keep all. I don't care it's scripted. I mean, I think it suggests a lack of whatever. I would never do that, but you better keep the whole team together then. Like whoever's doing that, you don't want to lose him or her, or whoever's writing it. I don't even know what's written and what isn't, but it's a very edited, produced. I've never listened to it for more than 3 minutes. It's not for me. No. That's not a put down. I'm not for them. Like that's okay. They do spectacular numbers, and it's a huge loss for Barstool. It stinks, but like so they were each making that $75,000 plus. Once I saw like last night they were making $2,500 for every X amount of downloads. I was like, they're fucking probably. I thought they were probably making like $300,000-$400,000. Yeah, $300,000-$400,000. So they're each making $500,000. But they said to Dave, "Hey, I want new deals." Dave kind of went along with it, tried, and then I will say, like I've always asked, when you negotiate, Mike knows this. When you negotiate, this is your chance. I remember the last deal I signed at Entercom. The person I negotiated with the deal at Entercom was like right below David Field, and he was like, "Look, this is your chance. You ask for whatever. You're never going to get this chance again for the next 5 years. So ask for whatever you want."
Right.
And you do. And then they say no or they say yes and you meet at the middle. So I don't have a problem with demands. But like these were getting they wanted everything. They wanted the IP address.
Dave gave them their IP.
Right. Well, that's the other thing.
Like, he completely caved. They got everything. They were going to get guaranteed money and then their intellectual property,
So I guess-
which is the ticket to them making
So I guess-
hundreds of millions of
So I
dollars.
guess
They own
the
Penn National by the end of this.
defense to that is if they're going to leave, why not make some money off them now?
Yeah, of course.
And then let them hit the bricks.
That's
Because
fine. I'm saying
because the daddy
they
name
turned that down though.
I know. Well, the daddy name without them is, I mean, it will feel really watered down. Like you have two new girls doing it.
Yeah, people would follow.
It's like
the
saying
thing
about
that
the
was,
new class or something.
the
It's
thing
not
that
going to
stuck
work.
out as odd to me is this idea that they were lying to their listeners in the sense that they put on Instagram that we can't talk, but we will.
Yeah.
We assure you we'll talk eventually. And this just proves that they were lying.
Well, but it was
It
also
seemed weird to me at the time.
there's also a
but-
divide within the two of them.
right.
Yeah.
So there's also that. There's a lot of drama. Again, I don't care if you're listening and you're thinking I don't
This
listen
man bit my clit.
If you're talking about like, oh, I don't care about that particular show, I'm with you 100%. But I like the the dramatic business side of it.
No, none of us listen to it. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't care
Wow,
that,
his penis is extra large.
and I don't care that people that they didn't interact with Barstool people. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, I know Erica does, and probably Dave does to some extent, but like, I don't care.
I think
Doesn't matter to me.
Casey was right when she said that they would have benefited more from interacting with other Barstool people than the Barstool people would have.
They,
I mean, I
the one
guess.
that's staying would have a better time now.
What's that?
The one, Alex, the one that's
Yeah.
staying, would have an easier time now because she could bring people into the
Sure,
show and
but
stuff.
I don't
like
even
that.
think she's probably not going to do that, which is okay. Well, who cares? I mean, if you're making money, they're making money. Does it really matter if you hang out with?
Yeah.
Like you do a fucking thing with Tom. Like who cares?
She was. I remember when they started. It seemed like they were centering the show. I thought it was one girl, and she had a
Well,
producer.
it was
Well, it was
originally.
initially,
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's gonna have too much of a problem being on her own.
I mean, if it's really produced, probably not. I wouldn't think. But, so they went through it, and then they kept saying no. Then they had outrageous demands, which were crazy. They wanted, this insane raise with,
$1 million guaranteed, 50% of all their merch.
Yeah,
they
some
wanted
rev
the
craze.
alcohol money.
yeah, and they wanted the IP and the rev split. It's just not, it's just not realistic. And I think, from what I heard from Dave and Erica, listening to them, I haven't talked to either one of them about it. they tried to play ball as much as they could, and now it's over. But, the real villain in this is this fucking Peter
He's
Nelson.
having a rough day.